was that I was on the path to earning more than he would, by a long shot. Moreover, she could not have fathomed that my struggle would be about making too much money in comparison. She assumed we might have trouble making ends meet if Tim didn't bring in enough income. Never did she imagine that I'd make enough money to support us both, a role reversal that would bear its own challenges. When it came time to reorganize my monetary life as I prepared for marriage and started to think earnestly about my future as one half of a we, I couldn't turn to the established wisdom set by the Susie Ormans and Dave Ramseys of the world, and I clearly couldn't turn to my mother. Admittedly, I couldn't even rely on some of the ideas I learned in my own experience as a journalist and personal financial guru for the likes of NBC, ABC, Money, and Yahoo. Why? Because when a woman makes more than her man, the game is totally different. Period. The new landscape. Right now, more women than men place an emphasis on career aspirations. A 2012 Pew Research Center study found that 66% of young women aged 18 to 34 rate their career high on their list of life priorities, compared with 59% of young men. This reflects a huge change in women's attitudes toward working that has been brewing over the last half-century, but has been accelerated by the recent recession. By the end of 2012, Pew documented evidence that since 2007, the percentage of mothers who said that their ideal situation would be to work full-time rather than part-time or not at all had gone from 20% to 32%. The percentage of top breadwinning women, young and old, married and single, has been growing exponentially for decades. The latest data show that women under the age of 30 are earning more in nearly every major city in the country. Of all married couples across all ages, 24% include a wife who earns more, versus a scant 6% in 1960. For women married to men without a college degree, that figure edges up to 25% of marriages. In other words, the percentage of married couples with higher earning wives is 4 times greater than it was in the 1960s. So I know I'm not alone in my journey to a happy household when my salary outpaces my husband's paycheck. The time has come for us female breadwinners to ditch the old rules and follow a different set of principles. This is the book I needed. In general, 2 distinct groups make up the majority of the breadwinning women in America. Single mothers represent one group. They are more likely to be young, less educated, and African American or Latina, and they have a median household income of $23,000. The second group encompasses the married women who make more than their husbands. They're more likely to be white, college educated, and a little older, and their median family income is $80,000. In the upper echelons of this second group are the affluent married couples, a little over 1/3 of whom discuss their finances more than they do their sex life. Although marriages in which she makes more are still relatively rare, they are increasing in number, and surveys indicate that as a society we're a bit mixed on what we think about all this. Norms may be changing, but our belief system does not seem to be moving as fast. 28% of Americans surveyed by Pew agreed that it is, quote, generally better for a marriage if the husband earns more than his wife. Apparently, newlyweds are the most open to having her earn more compared with couples who've been married longer. Perhaps this is because they haven't faced many challenges yet, or they are of a younger generation that's more likely to break with traditional gender roles. In about 30% of newly married couples in 2011, the wife earned more, versus 24% of all married couples. I found this to be true both in my own research and anecdotally from speaking with individuals and couples. Although in general many of us are becoming more accepting of single mothers, some of us still seem to have mixed feelings about whether or not it's a good thing for mothers, single or married, to work at all. A separate 2013 Pew survey found that about half of us say that children are better off if their mother is at home and doesn't have a job, while only 8% of us say the same.